Hello, everyone. Welcome back to, this is episode 2 of the Level Up Lounge. Hello, welcome. I am here, impressionable. I am impressionable. That's me. That's who I am. I'm the guy who is impressionable gaming. And I am joined by my co-host.
Hello, Walking Bobcat, or WB.
Nice.
Once again, for round 2.
Yeah. Episode 2. Hopefully this one's just as boring as the first one. No, I'm just kidding. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. It's been a busy couple weeks. The reason why we didn't post last week is because I got sick, and I don't expect WB here to carry the entire episode by himself because that would suck. No one wants
it'd be
to do
fine.
that.
How are you feeling, by the way? We haven't actually got to really talk that much about that between each other.
So I gotta say, this was like the weirdest sickness I've ever had. Okay. It was very strange. So like, it was in waves. So, for example, I play D&D every weekend with my friends, and like, so we had a session, and then I was sick, and we didn't have a session, and then I was better, and we had a session, and then I was sick, and we didn't have a session, and this was the third time. So it was like I was bad, and then I was good, and then I was bad, and then I was good, and then I was really bad, and I had a fever the third time around. But I think it's over. I'll be having to cut out some coughs, I'm sure, because I still have some junk in my chest that I'm trying to get out. But yeah, it's like the weirdest sickness I've ever had. I've never had like. There was like levels to it. It was like a raid.
How long? How long have you been sick? Like, has it been like a couple of weeks, or was it just like one whole
throughout the
week
entirety of December?
Oh, okay. So it's just been kind of like an on and off type thing.
Yeah, exactly. It was like on and off all through December. But that's why we missed last week's podcast episode. But anyway, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, but first let's start with some small talk. What you been up to, Bobcat?
I have been looking for video games to play recently.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I obviously sent you a recent video game for $1 to try out with some of our friends.
freaking Ape Wars, dude. I don't know if any of you out here.
This game.
Oh my god, I don't know if any of you out there have ever heard of Ape Wars, but go on Steam and type in Ape Wars, like the monkey, right? Ape Wars,
right?
And you will find the most disturbing imagery of a front cover of a game. So you think, I haven't touched it, right? Obviously. But like this,
I keep looking at it. I was like, was this the best $1 that I spent? Yeah, it is probably $1.19. It's 40% off.
Wait, it's 40. Wait, what's it normally?
$1.99, I think. Hold on, let me see. I had to get it on the deals. Promotion ends January 5th, or January 4th, guys. So before we storm the Capitol again.
Yeah, guys, you got to get on that Ape War train. It's the new hotness. My goodness, you just spend a couple dollars more, you get vampires.
Dude,
survivors.
It's freaking amazing. You get to have gun. You have an AK-47. This guy, he's in like one of those. Well, the monkey, whatever. Oh, there are cavemen. Oh, this is actually kind of interesting. No, the funniest thing is this: I didn't actually watch the video. I just was like, "Oh yeah, that looks cool," and I bought it for 5 different people. Like,
why do you do that?
I was like, "It's pretty cheap. It's fine. We'll figure it out."
We're never gonna play that.
No, dude. Oh, they have like what's that game that you like to play where there's like the rooms? They have a map that's like the rooms. What is it called? No Way Out?
Oh, you mean like the back... Oh, are you talking about
yes.
Lethal Company?
No, Backrooms.
Oh, the Backrooms.
Yeah, and this dude, he's just like jumping everywhere, shooting people. This looks great. Oh, you can go first person.
Oh my god, it's revolutionary. My goodness. Hey, so...
Yes.
You said you were looking for games to play. I, on the other hand, have been absolutely loaded with games. Like, my schedule right now... Mm-hmm. Monday is Yakuza Day, and I'm playing through all of I'm playing through them in chronological order. If any of you out there like Yakuza, join me on Twitch on Mondays, twitch.tv/impressionablegaming.
I have a question real quick. Are you playing it the way of like how they were coming out chronologically, or are you doing it in like because I know that there are a couple of ways that you can go throughout the games.
This
like
is
starting
not
with like
based
the
off
Kiyosaki
of,
or whatever it was called. I can't remember. Or Kasami? I can't remember.
This is not this isn't based off of release date. This is based off of chronological order of the game story.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
So it starts with Yakuza 0. And that's what I'm playing through right now. And I'm having a lot of fun. That one's actually really fun. Tuesdays, I've been playing through Spider-Man 2.
Ooh.
Trying to finish that. I am. It's picked up some steam for sure. Man, we can talk about that. Like, my goodness. It baffles me that there are so many people out there that were so upset that Baldur's Gate won over Spider-Man 2 and that Spider-Man 2 was robbed. And I could rant for days. Like, listen, I had my issues with Baldur's Gate. Like, they were small issues. It was a small part of the game. That game is a nearly perfect game. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the best games, if not the best game I've ever played. It's amazing. So, like, and Spider-Man 2 is great as well. But they're not even on the same level. Like,
do you think that a lot of people are liking it because of its popularity? Rather, because it like D&D, you kind of have to be into that kind of movement and all that stuff. Because like for me personally, it doesn't kind of pull me in, but Spider-Man does because I grew up with Spider-Man. Right.
Sure. So, but like I'm not even talking about like you can be a fan of what you want to be a fan of, right? Obviously. I'm talking like on a fundamental level of a video game. What you get out of it, you get exponentially more content out of Baldur's Gate 3 than you would ever get out of Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying now.
The replayability factor, like let's be honest, you beat Spider-Man 2, there's no reason to play it again. You're going to have the same exact story.
The Mary Jane missions. She has a gun now. She's changed.
She's got no, she doesn't have a gun. She has a stunner, right?
Oh, really? I haven't even got that far. I will literally tell you where I'm at. She stuns
people.
I'm with what's his name at the school. Basically, I'm very early.
Oh, wow. You're early. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. The flashback between
it really hasn't pulled me back in yet.
Right. It's like it starts a little bit slow, I guess you could say. Well, I shouldn't say that because the Sandman fight was pretty epic.
Yeah, no, that one's a good starter, honestly.
Yeah, that was a very good starter. Like, they took a note from God of War and realized that people like strong opening fights.
Yeah,
and so they did that. Cause
with that one, though, I didn't think it was that hard, though, with God of War. I think it's crazy.
What, as far as like...
when you fight the troll? Are we talking about the first guy? Right?
Well, I'm talking about whenever he got into a fight with Baldur in the first one, and then he got into a fight with Thor. Like, the cinematic opening is what I mean.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the troll that he first fights. Okay, I get what you're saying.
I'm not talking about difficulty. I'm talking about like a strong, in-your-face cinematic, like movie-style opening that really gets you invested. Oh, this is cool. You know,
like, let's go.
That kind of thing. But without getting on too much of a tangent, man. The amount of copium that I saw from people saying, I can't believe Spider-Man 2 got robbed. And I see all these videos that people post of, like, they'll be like, how did this beat Spider-Man? And it'll be, gameplay of Baldur's Gate. Like, it's tactical, turn-based gameplay. But then for the Spider-Man side, they'll grab a pre-rendered cutscene and make it a comparison. And it's like, you're not even showing gameplay of Spider-Man. You're just showing a movie scene. It's like, what do you mean?
It's like, this is so good. And it's like, okay. But it can just like go so far. Even in Baldur's Gate 2. Like, as well.
Sure. But the thing about Baldur's Gate is, like, another thing is, like, let's be honest. The Spider-Man games, while they are great, the stories of them is like what, 8 hours long maybe?
I want to say so, yeah.
Yeah, and around 8 hours. And Miles was even less, right? Miles was like 3 or 4.
Because honestly, Miles, his story kind of feels like DLC. That should have been.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But since they didn't have one at that time, during the transition to PS4 to PS5, that's kind of like what kind of saved them to also sell.
Right. Now, I will say, they're short, and like I would say, is it safe to say that maybe like 30% of that 8-hour experience, so let's say like 1 to 2 hours, not probably more, like out of the 8, let's say it's 8 hours long, at least 3 to 3.5 hours of that game time is spent watching a cutscene.
Yeah, but it's a really good cutscene.
No, yeah, they're really good.
Yeah,
they're really
I
good.
get what you're saying, yeah. Where it is just like you're just sitting there, you're being a person on the sidelines.
Right.
At that point.
And that's fine. That's fine. Again, like I'm enjoying the game, don't get me wrong. But when compared to Baldur's Gate, even the cutscenes, you're doing something. You know
really?
I mean?
Like in what what context?
Because anytime anybody is talking, you're answering with a decision that could change the flow of the game.
Oh, completely. You're doing you're doing the type of Mass Effect or Fallout type thing. Yeah,
exactly. There is never like I would say at most in general you're going to maybe have like 20 seconds of downtime before you have to make another decision in any given dialogue, right? Because you're answering everything with your character. True. And so there is no downtime whatsoever. Like there's not a bunch of tutorials. There's not a bunch of quick time events. There's not a bunch of filler freaking playing these mini games at the carnival for like an hour.
Yeah. No, okay, I do agree with you on that point at least. I do hate doing side missions like that where they're like, "Hey, let's go find all this crap." And I'm
like for example, riding the bike and going through the entire flashback. It's like, yeah, this is nice. But
I know what you're talking about.
But it's like the entire time you're just sneaking away from a janitor.
Did you ever get that bug, by the way?
Which one? The train one where he like on the bike? No, I never looked for it. But that's funny. I should have tried and found it. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a good one.
But again, like the game's great. But man, people are huffing hard copium if they think that it's better than Baldur's Gate. Like fundamentally, you just get way more bang for your buck. The story, like the replayability, the amount of hours that you will dump into Baldur's Gate, the effect that your decisions have on the world, like it's a truly immersive experience. And there's plenty of things in Spider-Man that has taken me out of immersion. For example, Mary Jane being able to take down an entire house of like elite hunters.
Yeah.
With crossbows, and she just has a stun gun.
No, I totally agree with you on that, but I do also think that it is for different types of video gamers.
Sure. So, I mean, if we're being completely honest, they're video games. They're meant to be fantasy.
Fair enough.
You know, you're supposed to, what's it called? Suspend disbelief. So, like, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. But
because, what would you think if, like, if Spider-Man 3 had like those types of like type of dialogue scenarios where you're just like F you like or just like you're just an awful person. Like it doesn't change how the gameplay or anything. It's just like you come up with like whack statements or like maybe you like freaking web a kid in the face and you're just like screw you. Like I don't know.
So you're talking about basically whenever Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 3
and Spider-Man 3
Peter.
when he's being a dick.
Yeah. That I mean,
you get to do like there's a dig on this button. Like,
right.
Dude, that'd be great.
So that would be very, very interesting. They kind of touch on that a little bit. I'm not going to spoil anything, but like you've seen in the commercials and stuff that the symbiote, like the Venom sort of symbiote plays a role. Right. And so you would imagine obviously whenever, eventually whenever it does attach to somebody, they do kind of their attitude kind of changes to a more like selfish kind. But like that's all I'm gonna say for anybody who's playing through it. Right
now, I'm gonna ask a question. If you can't answer it, that's totally fine. But does he get more aggressive in the way that he talks, or is it kind of like, is it just Peter the same way? Like, does Yuri change how he's talking, or is it just like Like, so how's his character development for
I will say, if anybody is listening to this and you don't want to know, tab out for like 5 to 10 seconds.
Hey, it's your boy WB editing this podcast. If you don't want things to be spoiled, go to 1725. That's when we kind of stop talking about our speculation of Spider-Man 2 as well as some spoilers. All right, back to the podcast.
Anyway, yes, he does get more aggressive.
Okay.
With his dialogue. Like there's a small moment that I will say here. It's not like a huge moment, but there's like a bunch of crazy stuff going on, and he fell asleep, right? And so the suit kind of takes over for him in an autopilot mode.
Oh,
and
is
so,
that the one that they show in the trailer?
Probably, where you're playing
Okay.
as MJ. You're
No.
playing as MJ, and he's like beating up people around you, and you're having to sneak through the carnage.
Okay, gotcha.
Anyway,
yeah, that's not the one I was thinking of.
But while that's happening, he's running on full symbiote, no Peter. But there's a moment where she has to, she's trying to wake him up, right?
Yeah.
Because he's going crazy and
Right.
he's asleep, and he like wakes up for a moment and tells her to run, and you can tell he's kind of getting a little chaotic.
Fair
right?
enough.
But the way he says it is a bit aggressive. He's just like, MJ.
He's like, get on the chopper, get out of here.
Like, whoa.
Turns
but
into...
yeah, so there's a lot of really, really cool stuff with it, though.
Right
the
on.
only one thing that I do have kind of a little gripe about so far is, like, Eddie Brock is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah. So, like, the symbiote is happening completely separate from Eddie. So, like, there's no Venom.
Oh, where you're at least?
Yeah, like,
There
I
has
don't know
to
if
be
he
some
makes an
Venom.
appearance later on, but Eddie Brock has not made an appearance as a character at all.
Yeah.
And that was really weird to me. So, like...
I wonder if, and this is all obviously like speculation because I haven't even finished it, obviously, but I wonder if it goes with like Harry or something like that.
Well, I mean, I don't know how deep you want to get into this or not.
No, we don't have to, but I'm
okay.
That's all I'm thinking necessarily. Right. But because then we do kind of get into spoiler stuff, and I don't know.
Exactly.
People are
like,
gonna,
Some people might have considered what we've talked about already as like a slight spoiler, but I don't think it's too bad. I don't want to get too into it.
Yeah,
if you haven't played Spider-Man 2, definitely play it. If you're playing through it right now, keep going. It gets pretty good. I'm liking it quite a bit so far.
Nice.
But let's see here. So yeah, Mondays are Yakuza days. Tuesday, I'm playing through Spider-Man. Wednesdays, me and my mom get together and we play Alan Wake 2.
Oh, nice.
So we've been playing through
have
that.
you guys gone through the first two?
First two? No, there's only two right now, I believe.
Well, there was the first one, and then there's the one that was on arcade, which is like an hour. It's basically DLC.
We never played one or that. We've only played two. Like, I had done some research on if I'm able to play Alan Wake 2 without playing the first one.
Oh, gotcha.
And everybody was saying that it was kind of its own standalone thing. Like, they fill you in on things pretty much.
Gotcha.
Enough to where you don't necessarily need it. But
okay.
We've been enjoying it. After the podcast, after this episode, I was going to try to get with my mom to play a little bit of it because we missed Wednesday.
Nice.
But yeah, Wednesday I've been doing that. Thursday is Mass Effect Day, so I've been playing through the first 3 games for the first time. And it went really good. My stream went really good. I got 3 new followers that were all Mass Effect fans. That
that's what's up.
Watch me play through it. So I thought that was pretty nice. But it's a lot of fun so far. I'm enjoying it quite a bit so far. And then Fridays is the podcast day and whatever else. So that's what I've been up to. I know we got on a bit of a tangent about Spider-Man and Baldur's Gate, and we can extrapolate on that a little bit more later. But let's go ahead and how long we're 20 minutes in. Let's get on to the docket, unless you have anything else that you would like to talk about real quick.
No, I'm good. Let's go.
Yeah?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
So
speaking of Insomniac, there we go.
Yeah, me and WB here were like trying to think of different topics that we could talk about and things like that. And there's a lot of stuff that's happened in like the last couple weeks or so. The first one we wanted to talk about was Insomniac, the data breach that they had and all of the leaks, because I honestly to start off this discussion, I got to say I am impressed with Insomniac with their ability to not bend the knee and say, "Do it." We don't give a damn.
Yeah. No,
because the thing is, like, if you pay them off, they're more than likely still going to do it anyway.
100%.
Yeah. So, but there's a lot of companies that probably would have went for it.
I think what they should have done was just released it themselves.
Oh,
because
right.
it was
like,
already going to be out there. Yeah. I know it would have been like a very quick turnaround for that.
You mean just like
to
slam their meat on the table and be like, we'll do it before you can.
Yeah, and then that just takes away, like, and then honestly, because majority of the stuff that's in those documents, I haven't looked at everything, but because there's just like, I think in this, it says on Tuesday, ransomware group released more than 1.3 million stolen files, and that's like 1.67 terabytes, which is crazy.
That's a
of
lot,
information
dude.
on the Insomniac future titles and confidential staff information. And so
I didn't look. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
I didn't look at a lot of these. Like the only one that I heard about was Wolverine. That seemed to be like the biggest thing. What else was there? If you're aware of anything?
I didn't look into it myself. I listened to some other podcasts because I was like, just to be respectful and honestly not to ruin my like experience. I didn't want to go out of my way to be like, let me see this, let me see that. I haven't even done that with like some other articles that we're going to talk about later in the podcast. But with this one, they poured out multiple things. Like we found out a couple of things with Marvel and what's happening on their end, and like a lot of Disney stuff. There's actually one thing.
Disney stuff?
Yeah, because obviously Marvel's owned by Disney, so
a
bunch of their stuff is kind of intertwined with them. And one of the things that I don't know anything about it, I remember hearing it on a podcast. It was, do you mind if I tell you?
Yeah, I do. I don't care. Yeah, sure. Let's
was
talk about it.
supposed to be a like open world Spider-Man game. There's going to be one where it's like,
aren't the other two technically already open world?
Like an MMO type thing.
Oh, you mean like
where there's like at least like maybe 4 Spider-Mans on one map.
Spider-Mans?
Yeah, Spider-Mans.
You mean Spider-Men?
Spider guys. The Spider
dudes.
guys,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find. Also, they wanted 50 Bitcoin. Like, I would have gone for more.
Yeah.
Now, I know why they did the Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is untraceable by any...
Right. There's no paper trail.
So, which I totally understand that. But I'm just like, brother, this is so crazy. One thing that I do want to take from the article that I really did like is that one of the things that they were talking about, or this is actually from what they posted on their Twitter or X. Sorry.
Yeah. No. You can call it Twitter. It's still Twitter.
X, formerly known as Twitter, just like how everybody says. However, like Logan, Insomniac is resilient. Marvel's Wolverine will continue as planned. The game is in early production, which we were talking about this earlier about how people were dogging on it.
It makes me so mad. These brain rot individuals on Twitter are like, oh my god, this game looks horrible. This looks like absolute trash, Insomniac.
This looks like Ape Wars. No offense to them. Also, by the way, if you want to sponsor us, hey, well, we already got the game. We're not getting a sponsor from the developers of Ape Wars. You know what's going to happen? They're going to give me just like the 119 back of just like, that's the sponsor.
Just refund the game and say, stay away from us.
Yeah. Like, I get it if it's like that type of game, but yeah.
Dude, what kind of podcast would we be if we made Ape Wars look bad?
Dude, I would be like, this is our niche. Like, there we go.
Exactly. Oh man. So I haven't seen anything about the leak at all, like in terms of like actual footage or gameplay or anything like that.
Same here.
But yeah, like these people, dude, they just like, you can't make this stuff up. These people come out here and they're like judging the game off of it being in its infancy, dude. That's like looking at a frozen steak and being like, "What the hell is this garbage, Outback? What are you doing? What?" Yeah. It's like, are you kidding? It's like, it's not even freaking cooked yet. What am I supposed to do with it? Let it go bad? It's like, Jesus.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people.
I did find some more stuff. Now, this is off of Reddit, and somebody has actually just...
Reddit, the best place for
news.
I
know, right? Chronologically just kind of put a compilation of all the leaks. So 2026 was going to be Wolverine. Then there was...
that's a good while.
Yeah. So that was it had concept art, game footage, animation, test footage, cast, build leaks, roadmaps, cutscenes, blah, blah, blah.
God, that just makes me more and more angry. Literally, like 3 years away.
Right.
These people are like, this looks like trash. It's like, come back in 3 years, you ungrateful
I know. And
bastards.
the other thing is this is like how you said, it's not even done. And so I'm wondering what...
It's not even started yet.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Technically.
And then they also had some like Venom Lethal Protector, which will come out in 2025, possibly. I don't know what that is, but that's probably a Venom game, obviously.
Right, yeah.
Then they have some Spider-Man DLCs and different stuff like that in 2023 or 2030. There was supposed to be a license terms for X-Men and some Ratchet and Clank stuff as well.
Dude, I was listening to add to your to this conversation. I was listening to the official podcast, and when they were talking about their take on like Wolverine, they made at least I think it was the official podcast. I'm pretty sure it was.
Okay.
They were talking about the potential of a Wolverine game.
Yeah.
And they were saying like, what kind of game should it be that would be entertaining? And I thought that was a kind of a good point, because they were saying that I guess in some of the footage maybe, or they heard from somebody that there was like, they're hoping that there's not going to be stealth missions.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't make sense for Wolverine, an absolute animal, to be a stealthy guy.
Have you ever seen Logan?
I did not.
Oh my god. Okay.
But I've seen clips from it, and like
dude,
it's
that
basically
is
Logan is Logan, from what I can tell, is like the Wolverine fans like boner jam of a movie.
Yes.
Like it is the movie for Wolverine 100%. To be an animal.
Like, if you remember the game that was on the 360, it was like Wolverine Origins or something. I just bought it.
Yeah. That was the one. I remember seeing that as a kid, and I freaked out because I was like, whoa, Wolverine is crazy.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
I remember a scene. I'm pretty sure at the very beginning, there's a moment where he jumps onto he like hijacks a helicopter.
Yeah,
he grabs the guy, and he lifts him up to the blades and decapitates him.
The funniest thing was this, is that I saw it at a GameStop like close by where we are, and it was just there, and it was at the GameStop price, so it's not usual price, which is like I think $45. In my head, because I remember seeing it as a kid, I was like, I'm about to buy this game, and I felt kind of weird because I was like, I shouldn't feel weird. I'm an adult. I can buy this, and I still have that that feeling of like, oh my goodness!
You're like looking over your shoulder to see if your mom's there.
Yeah, like
dude.
Crap.
I know. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I pull out my ID as I'm also pulling over the game to the guy. He's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
You're
dude,
bald with a
so
beard.
funny.
I don't understand why you're pulling this out right now. Like,
it's so funny how that works, dude.
Yeah.
So like, as a kid, things that you're told are bad by your parents. Like, it doesn't matter if you're an adult or not. You still get that feeling of like, ooh, I'm being bad.
If we get away with this right now, dude, we are gonna be off the chain. Like,
man, dude, that reminds me of a Donkey video I watched one time. He was talking. I think he was reviewing. GTA, or maybe the trilogy that was garbage that came out. Right.
Fair enough.
Remastered.
By the way, you can play that on Netflix now.
What?
Yeah, dude. Through their app, you can play it.
Oh no!
Yeah, I bet it's still trash, but you know.
It's sad that it is too, because those are 3 beloved games.
I know, it has Vice on there. I love Vice City. Will not play it new.
But
Not for the
but
price.
anyway, he was talking about whenever I think it was 3 Grand Theft Auto 3 came out for the first time, and he said he was like a little boy. He was like 8 or 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he or maybe 10. Anyway, he was in the GameStop with his mom, and he said that he grabbed a copy of it, and he brought it up to the counter, and the cashier was like, his words were like something along the lines of, "This man was the most evil guy I've ever met." Because he was like 18 years old or whatever, 19. Yeah. And he was like, "I don't know if your mom would want you to play this," and proceeds to tell his mom about what kind of game GTA is. And he spares no detail, telling his mom how bad it is, like all the evil things you can do and the hookers and the guns. And of course, his mom at the time was like, "No, you're not going to play this game." And instead she bought him like, I don't know, like Frogger or something like that. And then as he's leaving, he sees 2 younger guys come in and start talking to the cashier, and the cashier's like, "Oh, are you here for GTA 3? Dude, that game's freaking sick." starts talking
just
about
like
how
looks
awesome
at the kid,
it is.
like, how about that, dude? Yeah.
He starts talking about how amazing it is and that you'd have to be dumb to not want this game.
Yeah.
And Donkey was just like, "I'll never forget that, man."
He died a fiery death. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I did not know this. Okay, so PlayStation also had the X-Men Origins game. It was rated teen on PS2.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because I considered as a kid trying to get my mom to get that for
What's
me
the
because
difference? It's the same thing, isn't it? No?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, wait. Actually, hold up.
That's actually confusing because it says that it's on the same platform. I also forgot that it was on DS.
I think they may be different. So, like, for example, you know how
and Windows
did you ever
Mobile.
play the? Did you? What?
It's on Windows Mobile. What the hell is that?
I don't know.
It's the Windows phone. Okay. Anyway,
so
continue.
did you ever play Star Wars: The Force Unleashed?
Yes, I did.
So, all right, did you play the PlayStation 3 version, like the most popular version that everybody
No,
liked?
I think I played 360 and then PC a little bit.
Okay, well, 360 is this basically the AAA title on the big boy consoles at the time.
Gotcha.
The PS2 version of Star Wars: The Force Unleashed is a vastly different game.
In what context?
So, I remember first playing on the PS2 version, and like the levels are completely different. Like the story is the same, but the levels and the foundation of it is completely different.
Oh, okay.
Like it's you'd have to look it up and see it for yourself. But
yeah, no, I'll have to do that then.
Anyway, I actually am kind of excited for a Wolverine kind of game. It depends on if it's like, if they're going to do it right, I think they should make it like God of War, like a hack and slash style type of.
I have to ask you this though.
Yeah.
Is it going to play differently though? Like, I mean, he's not a heavy dude like Kratos. Because like the thing is this, the whole reason
he's pretty stocky.
He's nimble,
he's short. Right.
But he's fast and he's, he has the power of a god. Wolverine, I feel, is pretty fast. Like,
well, yeah.
Do you well, I guess he feels more to me as he's like Spider-Man. Like if they were doing an Incredible Hulk, I would be like, "Oh, okay, that's more Kratos looking," or not even Kratos looking, but just like feeling with him.
Well, you're going
right?
I think you're going specifically off of God's strength and comparing it with Hulk, which is like God's strength. But like it's less about the strength and more about he's going to be jumping around, doing acrobatic moves and slashing and cutting into people. I feel like you should have actually a better description would be like Devil May Cry gameplay. How
okay.
about that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Combos and stuff like that.
I could see that. I could see that.
I think that would be like, and they mentioned that in the official podcast. I think that's would be the perfect type of game for a Wolverine style game. Because I'm telling you right now, the last thing anyone's gonna want to do as Wolverine is an Assassin's Creed follow mission.
Ooh.
Don't ooh that.
Ooh.
Don't you?
No, I'm kidding.
No.
Okay, I was I was thinking in my head, I was like, who just did like a recent game with Marvel games that is similar to the Spider-Man games? And I was thinking Crystal Dynamic with the Avengers. So, because is he in that game? I'm assuming because he's part of the Avengers. I don't know.
No, Wolverine's not part of the Avengers.
He's in some timelines, not every timeline.
Well, yeah, no, like he's part of like the superheroes of that multiverse, but he's not part of the Avengers.
I thought he was at one point. Hold on.
I don't think so. I could be wrong. I'm not a nerd. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, because he's in Secret Wars. Hold on. He has a team. Let's see who he has.
Yeah, it's called the X-Men.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah. So it has Luke Cage, Spider-Man, Spider-Woman. And then,
right.
Oh, it's called the Avengers Unity Squad.
Yeah, they. I'm pretty sure that team made an appearance in the Ultimate Alliance games.
Oh yeah. You're right. Right.
Yeah.
Is he an Avenger?
Let's see. So, anyway, yeah, the Insomniac leak was crazy. Kudos to Insomniac for just taking it on the chin and continuing forward. And to all you haters out there that are getting upset and frazzled about a game that's not even hardly in development and is 3 years out from its release date. Yeah, you need to freaking chill and find something better in
honestly,
your
like,
life.
We need to think about these people as people. Because this has definitely ruined like a lot of people's lives. Like I didn't get into a couple of other things that.
Oh, you mean the people working at the company?
Yeah, definitely. Because and this doesn't also just mess with Insomniac. This also messes with PlayStation. This also messes with all of our other companies that we love dear, even like in movies and different stuff for like Disney and like animation, because they use a lot of similar assets and similar people and all that jazz. So this can mess up a lot of things for
a train wreck. Doesn't only hurt the first part of the train; it hurts the entire train.
So, and just to have like negativity around it, I think is just obviously the worst type of situation for this type of situation, or for any situation really. But we just need to think about these people as humans, and that the people that suck, and we need to put more of a spotlight on that rather than what happened.
Sure. That's a good segue. Who else? Who else had a spotlight on them here recently?
Okay,
speaking of putting...
I want to preface before we start talking about this. Earlier, I laughed at something, and it's because I opened up this docket on accident instead of the other one. Instead of the Insomniac one. So if you heard me laughing earlier, this is the reason why. Okay, continue.
Yeah. Because
it caught me off guard, dude.
So somebody who recently had a spotlight on them and got banned from Twitch for quote unquote being fat. It's our boy Boogie2988. My goodness, and what a thumbnail to behold! I'll put a picture. I'll put a picture of that up on the. I'll put it up. I'll put it up right now. Yeah, what a thumbnail! Nice. Look at that guy, man. My goodness, what a price to pay.
I really kind of want to read his tweet. Real quick.
Yeah. We'll get to that. Yeah, so popular streamer Boogie2988 stripped down on stream. Now I saw a clip of this because apparently, so Twitch, to preface, Twitch had started a new policy on artistic nudity. Now they've quickly since then backpedaled because they needed to iron out a few problems.
Yeah, and also like with this one specifically, even though that it's funny, with a couple of other things, there have been like other streamers that were kind of trying to push the limit and push the bar to see how far that they could go.
Yeah.
So this is actually why it kind of got into a situation.
It was under 24 hours that they took it down and was like, whoa, back up.
I know. Well, like, I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Like, dude, it's like, so you're saying if I lay there and if I put some paint, if I draw a smiley face on my balls, does that constitute as art? So I don't have to.
Well, because honestly, the one thing that I thought instantly, because not even before this article that we're talking about, this is like the funniest part of it, but there are some certain serious situations with it, which is like Twitch doesn't give you a hey, are you 18 and older type situation thing before
they don't.
Logging in or even making an account. So with that issue, I'm surprised that they haven't gotten in legal trouble with like, because like, I have my little brother, he does stuff with like Twitch, and I'm like, now I gotta watch him try to figure out if he's like seeing that stuff. So
don't you have to What's the age bracket for signing up? Now, I know everybody can lie about their age, but what's like the age bracket? I think it's like 13. 13?
I want to let me see.
I think because I'm pretty sure Moist Critical brought that up. Is that to make an account you have to be 13, and that's where the big problem lies. Because if you had to be 18, it'd be different. You know, they could probably push that stuff a little more. Of obviously, you know, there's a lot of extra stuff to it.
And also, like, I don't know what because I think that they definitely do have to have precautions. So they probably do have one where it is like, hey, just to let you know, there may be some stuff here that you may not want to see. But then again, with like how they used to do all the hot tub streams, I don't know how that worked either. I think you could just click into it and you'd be there. So I'm wondering what they kind of did with this. Hopefully they did. But
when you go live, there is like a little toggle that you can turn on for like mature, like allow it.
Really? Okay.
Or so basically you can. So it's kind of, I guess what they were saying at one point is that it's up to the content creator to toggle on that switch. Basically, it'll prompt you before you go in that, hey, this is mature content before you enter. So I think there is something, but that would be up to the creator to make sure that they put that on there so that everybody knows before getting into their stream that it is a mature stream. And I know that the CEO, what's his name? I forget his name. Of
David
Twitch.
Goggins.
No. That's the different. That's the One Punch Man guy.
No, it's who's gonna carry the boat? Sorry.
You're good. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, he did say something about blurring thumbnails before going into them, so that you would know that like obviously that in itself is a mature thing. They're ironing out some things, and I think the whole thing, like as a whole, it could be interesting to allow, like, I guess, art to flourish, but there's also like a lot of precautions to take into consideration, because then there's people that are just outright like just posting straight up porn.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just tried to get into Amaranth's thing. I did not get a thing that said anything. And
is hers considered? What's
it
happening?
said 18 and up. Like oil, like she's getting like an oil massage. I saw butt. Like,
oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
hold on. We might have to cut the podcast short.
Fair enough.
I got work to do.
No.
No. Yeah. I'm not the most knowledgeable person on like policies and stuff like that. Mainly, the main thing we're here to laugh at is the fact that
I forgot.
Is the fact that Boogie claims that the platform banned him for being fat. But let's be honest, all right? So typically with their policy that they had going is that like you would have to censor private parts.
Yeah.
So Boogie was under the effect that because his fat hangs down below his junk, it's impossible to see them. So he would just be naked. Straight up naked. And he was dancing around on camera being like, look at me, you know, I'm naked basically. You can't see my schlong. My wiener is buried under this blubber here. See? See this?
No.
If this wasn't here, you'd see my cock.
Yeah.
but it's here, so you can't see it. Haha, censor. It's like organic
censor?
Natural censorship. Yeah, exactly.
Who calls it that? Also, I want to preface this is.
Well, I don't know if he exactly called it that, but I'm like paraphrasing.
Okay, gotcha.
But I don't like. Is it okay? Oh, okay. Actually, hold on. Let's actually read further into this here. He uploaded a video on Twitter, I refuse to call it X, on December 22nd, 2023, in which he accused Twitch of being ableist and wrongfully banning him. He also showed his naked body in the video, claiming that he was not violating Twitch's terms of service because he was only exposing his loose skin.
Can I read what he posted?
Yeah. Okay. Go for it.
So it says in the video, Boogie 2988. By the way, I have never seen this guy, and he is just been in my
mind blowing to me.
Has been everywhere recently. Like in just like the past like week.
Yeah, I still cannot believe you've never heard of Boogie 2988.
The only thing that I had ever seen of him, which I didn't even know it was him, but I saw it through like Instagram, was when in his documentary that he has up now on like YouTube, he's like, yeah, I used to do sex work. And I have my own porns, and then she's like, "Why the hell are you telling me this? Do you really think
at the very
this is
end?
Good?"
Yeah, he's trying to get a job, and he's talking to the job lady, like, and he says, "I was in the porn industry for a while," and she's like, "Be honest with me, Steven. Do you think that that's actually a good thing to bring up during a job interview?" And he's like, "It depends on the job."
It's like, brother, okay, but what it says is this: it's that Boogie said, "Twitch is ableists. They ban me because I'm obese. They ban me because I have loose skin. This is not my testicles. This is not my genitalia, Twitch. You banned me for being fat, you ableist pricks," he argues.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that is so funny that he's just like, "I'm fat. Go suck a dick." Like, you know.
Yeah.
No. It's...
Yeah. Man, let's see. Let's see here. Oh, man. The whole thing is just... He also replied to another tweet from a user commenting on his video explaining that he was trying to troll the streamers following the new quote-unquote meta. Oh, man. I mean, let's be honest. He took the new policies and he ran with it. He's like, this is perfect. So Twitch has since reversed its changes on artistic nudity after the censor bar trend became popular on the platform. According to the new rules, no fictional or real nudity will be permitted on Twitch.
You know what I just noticed? I don't know.
What's that?
The article I sent you this from is from Hindustan Times. I didn't even know that there was a Hindi Times magazine.
I don't know. All of these things are just littered with ads and freaking take our cookies, and it's like, no, I don't want your freaking cookies, anyway. But you have to. So.
But yeah, no, this is very interesting for certain reasons. Not because of obviously I don't understand why people have to push I guess maybe I understand why they do this, but push the limit of it, because I think there was another streamer that also pushed the limits, and then she got all of the headlines. And so I'm wondering if he just did this to get headlines. He doesn't really care about this. He could give two craps.
If you watched his documentary, he had been struggling with his finances for quite a while now. So he probably saw this as a PR stunt to just get back into the limelight again. And I mean, it kind of worked.
Yeah. No,
obviously.
I mean, we're talking about it. And exactly. This was produced December 24th. Yeah. So.
We're talking about it, and we're big shots.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean.
I know what you're talking about.
This is just Twitch ban stirs community outcry for Boogie. Mm-hmm. That's what it says. Under his picture with his tongue sticking out. This is just the stupidest thing.
He's got a chain around his neck.
God, this is just anyway.
That's probably his girlfriend in the background helping him take
one?
that photo. Yeah, it's in the watch the documentary.
I don't mean to shame him or anything, but I didn't know.
Yes, you do. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. No, he's got a girlfriend. She's ride or die for this man, dude. It's crazy.
Does she have a job?
I don't know.
Okay, cool. Whatever.
But the entire documentary, and we can talk about the documentary at one point. If you watch it throughout the week, we can talk about it next week.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna waste my time on this documentary.
It's actually really well put together.
Really?
It's not Boogie's documentary. It's
okay. So it's not like a vlog
by another YouTuber. No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not a vlog. It's made by another YouTuber that does a very, very good job documenting it and interviewing him. It's
cool.
Yeah, it's an actual YouTube video who this guy is actually just documenting his entire life and stuff.
Huh. Okay. Yeah.
And it's actually it's a pretty good watch. It's very well done.
Okay. Fair enough.
But it's such a wild ride.
In review.
Boogie
2988 tomorrow or next week. That's what we'll do.
Yeah. Yeah, we can put that on the docket to talk about it. I mean, it I guess you could say it's slightly considered old news, but with Boogie being in the limelight here, it's kind of relevant again.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't too long ago. We can still talk about it, but
okay.
Yeah. It's a good watch. I recommend watching it for sure. It's funny. But yeah, like, as far, I'm not the most knowledgeable person. I will say, like, one of the last things I want to say about this is that they obviously are planning on trying to move something forward in regards to their policies to, like, this artistic nudity and stuff like that. They're just trying to put more regulations in place, I guess, because I saw a video, and you'll think this is interesting.
Okay.
There was a video of VR chat. It was an interview between, let me look up his name. I can't remember. The CEO of Twitch. Twitch.
Now, I will say he is very interesting. That
Dan
the
Clancy.
CEO is like, he's weird.
Dan Clancy. I think he's kind of cool. So, Dan Clancy was in VR chat as Gandalf, talking to two other YouTubers, having an interview at like a virtual fast food restaurant, sitting in a booth, talking about these important topics, surrounded by like cat girls.
And you don't think that's weird?
I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
Listen. I don't think Dan Clancy was the one that's like, "Hey, let's do it here." No, these guys were like VR chat YouTuber, like content creators, streamers.
Gotcha.
So he went to their domain to talk to them.
Gotcha.
Right. They didn't say, "All right, Dan's in his usual spot. Let's go meet him in the VR chat."
Yeah, he's over in the corner with like
he went to their dojo to talk to them. But the fact that they had a straight up interview in VR chat and he's Gandalf, it's so funny to me.
Okay, fair enough.
These important topics, these hard hitting questions, and you just see Gandalf like, "Well, you see what we were trying to do." It's really funny.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about Insomniac and the villains behind the leaks in their platform and in their content. And then we talked about Boogie being wrongfully taken down and
exposing possibly.
Yeah. And Twitch being ableist and wrongfully banning him and the injustice that he had to deal with. Well, there's more injustice that I'd like to cover here. The last topic of this episode of the podcast, yet cycling back kind of in unison with Insomniac, this time Rockstar. We will be talking about the leak of Grand Theft Auto 6 and the harsh realities that one 18-year-old man has to face.
This is
so.
One of the weirdest
like to start off with this
articles, by the way.
Yeah, I'm opening it up now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like
it's very interesting. So I'll just read like the first part of it. It says British judge sentenced an 18-year-old hacker who leaked footage to an unreleased video game, Grand Theft Auto 6. I was gonna say Grand Theft Auto 5. To indefinite detention in a secure hospital, according to BBC report. Why is he in a hospital? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And I've been reading. Oh, he's a mental health professional.
Yeah. So apparently he is, as it quotes here, or not, severely autistic, unfit to stand trial. But what I don't understand is if he is severely autistic and unfit to stand trial, he's clearly fit enough to run high-end hacking materials and programs to hack one of the largest gaming companies in the world. I mean, that's almost kind of like taking an insanity plea. You know what I mean?
Okay, this is how I kind of look at it.
I don't know if that's like an avid excuse.
I think with autism, it's very... So, obviously, I'm a novice. I don't really know that much about it.
And neither do I, to be fair.
Yeah. And so, like, we're coming at this as, like, people that really don't know. But I do have some people that in my life that do have autism. And I feel like there are certain, like, waves of autism. So,
sure.
like, you can be, like, it's like how they always say, it's like a spectrum, right? So
like
you have
high-functioning autism.
You have high-functioning ones, exactly, and then you have, like, lower-functioning ones. But then you may also have, like, and this happens in, like, the ADHD community, too, which I'm a part of because I have ADHD, where you do have those people that are high-functioning. Then you do have the ones that aren't as high-functioning, which kind of is me. And then you have the ones that can be kind of very... what's the word? Just like they get entranced with stuff. And I think that may have been the situation with this, is that he probably just got like really like into hacking and different stuff and like, let's see how far we can go, and then got into a situation. Now I wonder why they want to keep him in prison. Like, because that's the thing that kind of baffles me.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to the repercussions here,
Fair
but
enough.
what I will say is play stupid games, win stupid prizes, because if I'm being completely honest, like, just because he may have a, autism or something like that, it's not an excuse to let him ruin the lives of many
No, I
jobs
100% agree with that as well.
Like, there definitely needs to be some repercussions. Now, there are some people that have argued, sentencing to, to quote unquote life in this like mental institution or whatever, could be a bit harsh.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't think he'll be in there for as long as people are saying.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it talked about, the judge presiding over the case ruled that Kurtaj should be placed in a secure hospital until mental health professionals decided he no longer poses a risk to the public, according to BBC.
Yeah.
Now,
and he also, I want to say this too, he is part of a hacking group.
Right.
And so that's, okay, that makes a little bit more sense of it also being like they tried to extort from Rockstar.
Exactly.
So and commit fraud. So
right.
Okay, that makes a little bit more understanding on that.
So
yeah.
Me personally, and this may be harsh to some people, but I say get him out of here. I don't care
like
if you have. I don't. Yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
I
was like, okay.
Like I'm talking about like I agree with the sentencing.
Oh,
you know
gotcha.
what I mean? That's my personal thought, because like I don't care if it's like there was an episode, and I don't mean to compare this to Family Guy, but there was an episode where he found out he found out that he had a mental disability.
Yeah.
And was considered to be the R word. I'm not going to say it because that's like the word you don't
Understandable.
say anymore. And so he was going into like the females' restrooms and opening up their stall, and when they screamed, he'd say, "It's okay, I'm the R word."
Oh. I think I remember seeing that episode.
And then he opened up, and she's like, "Oh, that's okay." And then he goes to the next stall. "Ah, it's okay, R word."
Fair enough.
She's like,
fair enough.
Yeah.
I can understand from that aspect.
And right. And I'm just like, you can't, like, obviously in this now, to preface, when I say the R word, I do not mean something that happens to a woman in a terrible situation. I'm talking about somebody that has a mental illness or a mental challenge. That,
right.
There's so many things you have to be careful about saying on the internet nowadays. Some of them can get mixed up. Did you ever see what happened with Linus Tech Tips, and he thought he almost ended his career?
Yeah.
You saw that.
Where he's talking about like the hard R or something like that. It's so bad. Like, just,
he's like, back in the day, we used to use the hard R all the time, and his co-host is just sitting there with this look of like, well, I guess this is where it ends. We had a good run, boys. Yep. And he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, he says the word, and they're like, no, that's not what it means. He's like, oh. God. So yeah, I just wanted to preface that real quick. But anyway, that since this guy is in a bad spot right now, he is going to use everything at his advantage to try and lessen it or get out of it. And that's personally what I think he might be doing. Because if you're going to do something like this, it's premeditated, and he's obviously a lot smarter than a lot of people.
That is true.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to use something to his leverage. Right.
And also, I want to preface this. He did it through like an Amazon Fire Stick. At least that's what I've heard.
Wow.
So I'm like, that's even crazier. And then also in this article from CBS News, they did talk about how he tried to leak not only Rockstar. I don't know why I keep saying Rockstar for some reason. I don't know.
All the microtransactions.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Rockstar. for GTA 6, but also launching cyber attacks on Uber, Nvidia, and other corporations. So it wasn't just Rockstar, apparently. So that makes a little bit more sense of all this situation. But
he's like a serial hacker, it seems.
Yeah. And he's also with a group. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't know if they actually caught other people, but I don't know.
Man,
I don't know how groups
I don't
work.
know. But like, yeah, dude, like that's the thing is if you know, more than likely, I mean, we don't know the guy's demeanor, you know. I don't know if he feels I don't know if they if they covered it, I don't know. I might have missed it, but I don't think they haven't said anything about his feelings towards it, you know, if he's remorseful, this, that, and the other thing. But like that's what it seems like this like is for, you know, prison and stuff and things like this. The correctional facilities are meant fundamentally to be corrective facilities for rehabilitation.
Right.
Now, it doesn't always end up that way. Like they're terrible places to be. They're scary. You know, the justice system is kind of messed up in a lot of different ways. We don't need to get into that. But fundamentally, this mental health hospital is for rehabilitation purposes. They even say that, yeah, I mean, that's what it says. They double as a residential treatment center that aims to rehabilitate and eventually discharge offenders.
Right.
So I do hope that the guy decides to, you know, find a better course. Honestly, I think the government should hire him.
I know, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, do a Snowden, just put him somewhere else, and then he's probably still working with us. Like, you know, that's that's what Asmongold had mentioned. He was going over this situation, and he was like, I think the government should hire him, use his skills for, you know, what if that's operative. Like the cover up? Like they're like, oh he's gonna be here. Oh shoot, you know,
that is who knows? That could be a conspiracy.
It would be interesting, like, because literally he did. So I read a little bit further down, and it said that while on bail awaiting sentencing for the cyber attacks, despite having his laptop confiscated, Aaron, I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm not going to say it because I don't want to be...
The hacker?
Yeah, it's like... It's Turkish.
Kurtaj?
Yeah, it was Kurtaj? Yeah, okay.
Kurtaj
carried out Grand Theft Auto hack using a Fire Stick TV stick in a hotel television and his mobile phone. So that is freaking crazy.
That is insane. See,
I
that
thought
right there shows
just doing
how
emulation
smart
on
this
a phone
guy is.
Was crazy. That's even crazier. So
yeah.
But yeah.
That's insane, man. Like, are you excited for 6? Obviously you are.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I accidentally saw some stuff today for it because apparently there was another hack, or not another hack, but somebody leaked some more crap. We were talking about that earlier.
There's gonna be a lot of stuff like that. But, this, like GTA 6 will more than likely be the biggest game release of all time.
Even though that like the last one was theirs, which is like so crazy to me that nothing has really come out of the pearly gates of gaming industry, or the hell, whichever you want to call it. Which it probably will be hell next year. I feel like there will be a lot of crazy stuff that will happen, but
I think next year could be a pretty promising year for games. This year certainly was great. This year,
I think it is, but for the industry as a whole, I think it's going to keep collapsing into itself, like how it has this year.
Right.
Just with like how much all that crap. But what I was going to say was that with GTA 6, this is going to be so crazy. I wonder if it's going to be like how it was like with Zelda, where it just becomes a day, you know, of just everybody being like, oh my God. Like, I don't know if you remember like when Tears of the Kingdom came out, but like how everybody was talking about it. It was all like, we're all experiencing it all at the same time. I wonder on how big of a more platform it will be.
Elden Ring had
GTA
the same thing.
6. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Elden Ring was the same thing. Like everybody was playing Elden Ring when it first came out. But like that's the thing. When a big title comes out that people have been waiting for a long time, like that's going to happen. And honestly, I think GTA 6 will probably have like a solid month where that's all that's happening. Like I honestly think it could stretch out to a month, if not longer.
Do you
because
think...
like
Oh, no, continue. Sorry.
I was just going to say, because GTA 5 was released when, like 2012?
2014.
14?
The reason why I say that, or 2013, something like that.
23. Anyway, the point is that game is still about just as popular as October it was 1st, when it first came out because of the online capabilities and GTA RP and like streaming and stuff. It is so massively popular. Like if that's not a 10 out of 10 game, I don't know what is, because it's the staying power has made it a 10 out of 10 game, like Skyrim. Like, a lot of people wouldn't consider Skyrim a 10 out of 10 game. Like I personally don't think it is a 10 out of 10 game, but
it's on every platform though.
Right. I think games like that are re-released and eaten up by the same people, games like Fortnite, like it's been around for a number of years now, and it's like continuously getting better, continuously being played constantly. I personally feel like it's too big to die right now as long as they keep adding stuff to it. It's crazy.
For Grand Theft Auto?
Oh, well, no, I mean like Fortnite.
Oh, but Fortnite. Yeah, sorry.
Grand Theft Auto as well. Like they update it constantly. They're always doing stuff to it. Yeah, they just recently
had one. Like
exactly. That's what I mean. So like
that. Yeah.
So that like, man, GTA 6 is going to be an absolute phenomena in the gaming industry. It's going to be a wild, dude.
Do you think they're going to do the same thing that they did when they released it? By the way, it released in October 1st of 2013. So
okay, so 2013. Got it.
But do you think they're going to do what they did with that, where it's like 2 weeks are just campaign?
Oh, before they add extra stuff?
Well, no, before they did even multiplayer, they were like, no, we're not opening up the gates. Like, go play the campaign, and everybody played it and went through.
I mean, if they decide to do that, it's probably going to be for a good reason.
Because the only thing that I keep thinking is that I know obviously they have all of their like people probably on this. Now is Rockstar, oh my God, Rockstar North, are they also the people that did the remaster for the for the trilogy? I wonder.
Yeah, who knows?
Because
who knows what they have in store, man?
If that's them, oh no, it was actually 3 Oh, that makes it bad. It was Rockstar, Grove Street Games, and then Rockstar North. Jesus. What was I gonna say? I wonder if it's gonna have the same problems as all the other games have.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I honestly don't think so. You're talking about the trilogy?
Yeah, especially like with that because of how bad that came out. I don't know.
I don't think so, because the thing is like that was like, you could tell that was like for the fans, and then they dumped all over. It was a mobile game company that was fronting it, right? I'm pretty sure the company was like a mobile game company, because a lot of people were making fun of the way that it looked, obviously.
Right, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was a mobile game company that was the ones that were developing it. And after that, ain't no way Rockstar is going to be keeping an eye on that stuff like a hawk, especially 6. This is their biggest release.
That is true.
This is the most hype for a game, any game that they've ever had in the past. This one has the most hype behind it. This might even have the most hype of any game ever released ever. Like, there are so many people. Like, my dad knows what GTA 6 is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that's what I'm talking. Like, this is the game for this generation, I think.
This generation of like Xbox,
like gamers.
Like,
like the most like of like console, like and PC even. Like this era, GTA 6 is going to be absolutely
if it comes out
insane. What do you mean if? I think it will.
I think it's going to come out like 20. I think what's going to happen is that we're going to have a new iteration of PlayStation, and it's going to come out on the PS5, but then it's going to go to whatever the PS5 Slim or whatever the newest one is going to come out. Because I feel like this, because of COVID and everything that happened with it, we would have probably been getting a new iteration of a PS6, or something, or an Xbox 720, right? Like whatever they were going to be doing with that.
You think so?
Yeah, because like, I mean, it's how many years has PlayStation 5 been out? Like 6 years?
No, it hasn't been that long. It came out like 2020 or 2021.
Really? Dude,
2020, I think. So like
2023
3 years.
has been weird for me, I guess. I don't know.
That whole entire era of like COVID and stuff made everybody like time pass like a blur. It's been crazy.
That's fair enough. Obviously.
Yeah, but
Rockstar
anyway,
is pretty great anyway.
Yeah. I'm excited. Like, and I've never been like a huge GTA like fan. Yeah. Until I got a little bit older. Like I do enjoy 5, and I've been playing through the story and trying to finish it for the first time because I never did. But
what was your first GTA? Was it 5?
San Andreas.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Mine was 4.
Andreas.
So
okay, I see.
Nico, let's go bowling. Mm-hmm. You know, that type of stuff. So.
I am excited for it, but yeah, the entire leak situation.
Yeah.
Hopefully the guy gets rehabilitated and learns his lesson. I don't know. Like we'll probably hear new updates on it later, I'm sure. Same thing with the Boogie situation.
With the Amazon TV.
He hacked his way out of the windows. Yeah.
Oh, it's like that Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh God.
We're probably gonna hear to the metaverse or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. We've talked about a lot of stuff today. Insomniac, Boogie being discriminated against, and GTA 6. We've covered a lot of stuff today, but I think that'll go ahead and wrap up this episode of the Level Up Lounge. So thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe not only to me, Impressionable Gaming, but also to Walking Bobcat. Yeah. And we'll see you all in the next episode where we talk about whatever happened next, including possibly maybe the documentary on Boogie, because I think it's a very interesting topic.
Oh yeah, I forgot we talked about that. What are you talking about?
We'll see what happens. There's lots of stuff that's more than likely going to happen in outbreaking of like news and stuff like that.
Because everybody's going to be coming back from break, so.
Sure. Yeah. A lot of stuff happening over the New Year's, but yeah. Hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for joining us in the Level Up Lounge, and we will see you all next time, everyone. Peace. Take care. See ya. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Level Lounge podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing to our Spotify at the Level Lounge podcast, and as well as our individual YouTube channels at Impressionable Gaming and Walking Bobcat.